The following broadcast is brought to you by
Elite Performance,
What's Poppin' Corn Snacks? Printed Memories.
Revved Up Tattoos,
The Fighter's Friend.
Doc Sports Service,
The One's Kitchen.
Inner Beast Sportswear,
BWSPORTS1, sports media marketing and design. Check us out at BWSPORTS1.com. It's another original BW Sports 1 production.
Pew pew!
What's happening, everybody? It's the off season. It's time for a little free agent fiasco going on. That guy right there is the one. This guy right here is DaLion. Together, we are the Dukes of Football.
Ball.
What's happening, brother?
What's up, bro? Had to see you since the end of the NFL season.
Man, it's been a little rough. Well, you've seen me, you've just not seen me.
Yes, that is true.
Yes. You know,
I did really get to pick at you a little bit on live television or internet.
Now, okay, I was gonna say now is the first time that we all see the Eagles fan in his all turmoil-esque ways since the Super Sunday happened, which it wasn't.
I know we had a very interesting conversation in the feed.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
But
Man. It is what it is. We lost, they won on the next year, and it's kind of putting us where we're at because, like I say, a free agency is going crazy so far already. And
yeah,
holy moly!
and the headlines have been between two guys for the most part.
Yep.
And I don't know why one guy's even got the headlines. And we already knew what was going to happen. So I don't even know why it was even like, oh my God, why are we waiting for this guy to tell us exactly what's going to happen?
Right. Yeah, we're still waiting.
But anyway, before we get into that, have you caught any of the XFL games?
I have not. Honestly, not going to lie. I wish I had. I have not been able to catch any of them so far. First couple weeks after I've heard they're entertaining. First couple weeks after the NFL season, I was a little preoccupied with the event, and now hopefully moving on and getting ready for whatever's next.
Yeah, no, it was. I've watched quite a few games.
Yeah.
They came on like when I came back from Mexico.
Yeah.
So I dove right into some football. It's not bad. I like some of the rule changes. I do think the NFL should explore the kickoff version. I do like that. It still gives you the excitement of the kickoff, but takes away 95% of contact injury.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about the extra point thing yet. Whatever, it's exciting. I like it. I think it's much better than what we've gotten before in the previous try of the XFL. So I'm good with it. So if you can catch some games, you better watch this because these guys is playing football. This ain't no joke. Like they're really out here playing football. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, that is, I guess, better than no football at all, right? And the USAF is coming, or whatever it's USFL.
Ooh.
What is it? Football league.
I'd rather watch Canada.
Okay, gotcha. It's like that, huh?
Ooh. All right, so let's go, man.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. We got a special commodity here tonight. The one and only Ezekiel Elliott has left Dallas, is on his way, and he stops in here. Folks, we have him. That's right. AKA The Source. What's happening, brother?
It's been a long day at work, and I was trying to follow all this free agency stuff, and it's been kind of exciting, especially as a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, there's a lot going down there. A lot going on down there. I mean, you know what? Screw it. We can make Lamar and Brett Favre wait. Let's go ahead and talk about the Cowboys. Like, what is going on down there? Why is Ezekiel upset? I'm not really understanding why he's angry and mad and wanted a release. Why did you want a release when you knew you were getting released anyway when they franchised Pollard?
So he didn't really necessarily want the release. The problem was they didn't want to restructure to give him the pay cut because he didn't want a huge pay cut, which is what they were offering him. Because when he signed that massive deal, his production went down year after year after year, and he's been unhealthy. The big thing that they're targeting right now is, and I said it in the group chat, and I'll put it out here, is they're really looking at DeAndre Hopkins to complement CD, because when Amari Cooper was there, he took the spotlight off of CD, and CD was able to shine. There's also talks of Kareem Hunt being interested in coming from Cleveland to Dallas. That would have to be another big trade, and I don't know if Dallas wants to do that because Kareem Hunt would be the same contract as what Zeke had, except they wouldn't be responsible for it. So the whole thing was, when Pollard became the better back over the last 2 years, it kind of upset Zeke. I'm the highest paid guy. I'm the better guy. I was a first round pick, blah, 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 blah. I'll restructure, but I still want to be the premier back. And they were like, no, we can't do that. Your legs are just not there. Yeah, your legs just aren't there anymore.
Damaged goods.
Yeah.
You're damaged goods.
They made him a post June 1st cut, so they will save, I think in the tweet that I saw, it was like $10.98 million in cap space, which is huge. I mean, they can get Hopkins, sign him to a multi-year deal if they really want to get him, because the only other team that I saw that was interested in him, I think, was the Raiders. And with them getting Jacoby Myers now, they kind of took themselves out of the running for Hopkins. So,
man, you brought up the Raiders, man. I'm not meaning to switch teams, but we're going to get into the Raiders in a second because they're making moves.
Yep.
Now, so let me understand correctly here, and obviously you're going to hear a little biased opinion from the Eagles fan. So what you're telling me is he was a baby,
yep,
and your offensive wide receiving powerhouse needs somebody better than him to take off defenders so he can actually play. I got you.
Well, so I was never really a big Zeke fan. I was a big firm believer that at the time that they drafted him, Jalen Ramsey was a better pick. I believe if Jalen would have went to Dallas, he probably would have still been there, not jumping team to team, because he at least would have had a chance to shine, especially covering guys against the Eagles, the Giants, and whoever else on a week-to-week basis. Like, there was a little bit more talent at the time for the NFC. So it doesn't surprise me. The thing is, Zeke's best years were when Dallas's offensive line were the best in the league and was healthy. Now that they're a little bit older and they're falling apart a little bit. Like, they just lost Connor McGovern to Buffalo, which is big loss. I'm not saying that as a Penn State fan. Connor McGovern came into the league. He was like a 6th-round draft pick, wasn't expected to play. Then he got in because of injuries, and he never lost a starting job. So he worked his way up to be a starter. He's now going to be a starter up in Buffalo, which is big for them. And just his style of run just doesn't work anymore. I saw a lot of references that he's Todd Gurley 2.0. Just Todd Gurley just wasn't the biggest baby like Zeke was.
But Zeke was exactly what the Cowboys wanted. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's what Jerry wanted. It's what Jerry wanted.
Well, that means that's what the Cowboys want. Like, until I have no love or no.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Everybody's
Nope.
spinning.
There he is. Now
There
we
he is.
hear him. There
Am I
he is.
just
He's
talking to
back.
myself
You're
and people
good
are
now.
spinning?
You're good.
You're
Yes.
good now.
Oh, what happened? Everybody's spinning.
Nope. You're good. We hear you.
Spinning, spinning, spinning.
You're good. You're good. We
You're
hear
good.
you.
Oh, still live. Spent out.
So Dan, you said about the poking it because of being the Eagles fan or whatever. I think the big reason why they want to go with the wide receiver route is because they want to be able to compete with the Eagles defense, because you figure with the coverage that the Eagles have shown over the last year and how they were able to shut down the passing game and force them to run, they need that extra weapon. And let's face it, DeAndre Hopkins isn't a bad wide receiver for anybody to go after.
No, not at all. I think DeAndre Hopkins is still one of the top 8 receivers in the league, 8 to 10. He's still
Top
up there.
8?
I know. I threw
Okay,
one out of
maybe.
I know. I threw one out there. I threw one out there in the group chat. I had to say it.
I mean, I feel what Matt's saying with DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah, his name alone will loosen up secondaries, so to speak. It's not that CeeDee Lamb wasn't up for the challenge of all the focus of the defense, but every good receiver or every good passing offense has at least another one. You know what I mean? Outside of your tight end. And DeAndre Hopkins he might not be able to take the roof off, but he can still run routes. He can still be a possession. You can slide him in the slot, on third down. That helps out a little bit for who Dak is the most overrated quarterback in all of quarterbackdom. But, you know what I mean? It still gives him a little extra weapons, and it does open up CeeDee Lamb a little bit.
And let's also be honest here. Zeke was never really good compared to Pollard out of the backfield catching the ball.
So I know we missed it earlier. I just saw it here. Somewhat breaking news. Jamal Williams ended up signing with the Saints. There was a lot of talks that he was going to go to the Jets to complement Breece Hall if and when the Rodgers deal goes through. So he just signed a deal with the Saints to team up with Derek Carr.
I thought that the Lions were going to do like that 3-headed monster in the backfield.
They couldn't retain his contract. That was his biggest problem.
Yeah, that's the whole focus of subject matter is, I mean, how has free agency helped or hurt the NFL? I mean, you can broaden this out and talk about all sports, how it's affected it, but pertains to football. I mean, we'll probably get into that a little bit later on, but I mean, free agency disallows franchises to build true dynasties.
It's the salary cap, man. MLB don't understand it. NHL don't understand it. It's part of it. I like it because
the NHL has a salary cap, but it's supposed to expand to $1 million. It's supposed to expand $1 million next year, which isn't a whole lot of money. But the NHL does have a salary cap.
Okay, stand corrected.
Well,
they're not baseball.
The WNBA gets more ratings than in the NHL.
Oof. Oh, that hurts.
Look, I'm coming closer.
And I'm not being biased here because I've been watching WNBA hit the scene. I mean, I'm that old. I remember its first year, with Rebecca Lobo and Cynthia Cooper and Teresa Witherspoon. I remember all that. But, bro, listen, I could count exactly how many hockey games that I've watched in the last 30 years.
I can't.
The NHL finals.
Yeah.
So let's talk. I want to talk about those Raiders. The Raiders. So first of all, they get rid of Derek Carr. Derek Carr leaves, however anybody wants to look at it. They bring in Jimmy G. Jimmy G is the found savior now in Las Vegas. They've also been making wild moves and bringing people in. Matt, I know you are up to date on all this way more than I am, and today at least. What happened today with the Raiders? Didn't something bigger, I think?
Deontay Wilder.
Bingo.
Not Deontay Wilder, but
Yeah. You caught me. I was like, yeah, that's it. No, wait a minute. Deontay Wilder boxing.
So the Raiders signed Jacoby Myers to 3 year.
That one.
Yeah. They signed Jacoby Myers 3 years, $33 million.
They had something else go on though.
The tight end.
They traded Darren Waller to the Giants.
That's it. Darren Waller. I don't know how I got Deontay Wilder.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's him. Wait.
But see, that doesn't surprise me though, because he had that a couple of years there with Derek Carr where they were connecting, but it seemed like last year and the year before, like, especially last year, he was off the map and then he got hurt. And then when he came back from injury, he wasn't the same. Because I had him for fantasy, and he really screwed me over big time because I was short a tight end almost every week.
I kind of take injuries out of it. You know what I mean? Derek Carr was having his own issues. He can't very well quarterback and spread the ball around. And plus, if you're hurt, you can't be on the field and practice. So I kind of give him an asterisk for last year.
Right. But still, I mean, they kind of were like, yeah, we can't really franchise tag you because Josh Jacobs was a better choice to franchise. It's hard to argue that he wasn't worth the franchise tag for them. And there was no way that they were going to be able to re-sign him. So it was just better off instead of having to deal with him in the offseason and deal with a contract talk. And we'll just trade you away, get some assets for you. And him going to the Giants kind of just worries me a little bit. As a Cowboys
pissed his wife off. I know that.
Yeah.
That's beef. Pissed his wife off. Had her throwing shots.
So, but Mike, I'm going to ask you guys a question though, because of them getting rid of Darren Waller. Does that take away an extra asset for Jimmy G? Because Jimmy G has proven with enough assets in San Francisco, like Kittle and Debo and Brandon Ayuk, that he can be a very capable quarterback, like a top 10 quarterback in the season. But them losing Darren Waller and having Josh Jacobs as their running back, does this make them look bad for signing Jimmy G now?
I mean, Jacobs is a hell of a running back. I would want him. I understand the franchise and the franchise tag. Okay, that's what I think of that. But I think that honestly, I think the Raiders are looking at their offensive line in the draft. I think that they're going to pick up some really good pieces in the draft for Jimmy to be a little bit more stable back there. But again, they got a better running back than they did in San Fran, in my opinion.
I don't know about that, but I do like the idea of the Raiders trying to improve themselves. I'm not going to knock Carr because I like Carr. Just don't think Carr was in a good situation either year. You know what I mean? You had a coach your second year that really didn't want you, and you can tell by the way they ran the offense. And the year before, you had an idiot that you had to save the franchise from, which I didn't think you got the respect that you deserved for last year. So I think Derek Carr has a tremendous year in New Orleans to prove a point. But with the Raiders, I'm not sure the lose of the tight end is going to be that big a hit because I don't think the Raiders are done moving pieces from free agency. And I think they got a couple draft picks. So who knows what little diamond in the rough that they might have. And you got to look at it, the fact that he's reunited with his offensive coordinator in New England. So there's already a rapport. There's already pieces where they know each other likes or don't like. So I think it might be all right, but I'm just concerned about the upper levels of Raiderdom, how it's just always failed them, kind of like the Cowboys.
So the reason why I asked that was because they were talking about this when he signed. Jimmy G in 10 yards or less has a QB rating of 105, and Derek Carr had a QB rating of like 62.3 last year before Jimmy G got hurt, which he led the league in passing rating with 10 yards or less passing. That's where Darren Waller was successful, was especially in the red zone inside the 10. So him losing that, I don't know if it really is going to affect him, but that's a big jump for him to lose a guy who was probably a real good inside the 10-yard line easy dump off tight end for a pass. And now you have to.
Don't Renfro? Didn't they re-sign Renfro?
I'm not sure. I didn't know if he was a free agent this year or not. I thought
for some reason I feel like saw his name pop up.
He might be in
the last few weeks.
He might be in the talks for trades, but with them picking up Jacoby Myers, though, Myers was really good inside the 10-yard line for New England with a terrible Mac Jones throwing him the ball. So I don't know how much you're talking about. Two different trade-offs. You're talking about Jacoby Myers or Darren Waller. So that's why I asked that question.
I hear you. Hey, what about this this Baker Mayfield to the Bucks, man?
I said it earlier, man.
Baker.
Sam. Say it with me now, Matt. You loved it when I said it in there. Come on now. Say
Sam Bradford.
2.0. He's doing a damn good job the past couple years. Yes, I understand he was in a shit storm in Cleveland. He did what he needed to do as their quarterback. I don't think he was given. I think it was a bad deal with them with the bringing in of Watson at the time, and then shipping him to Carolina, and then Carolina ships him to L.A. He gets paid all the whole time though. He's getting major money, and now he's traded. No shit, and now he's making on a 1-year contract. Hold on here. 1 year, and it is
8.8, I believe.
Is it 8.8?
Yeah.
$8.5 million 1 year. So he's probably going to start.
Who's going to not start?
I don't even know who their backup was behind Brady.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. But Baker, man, like I said, he's making that money. Do what he does, man. Keep it up. Continue supporting that wife of yours. You know she's loving that money and going around the country. I mean, do what you got to do. He's never going to be a top echelon quarterback. He possibly had the opportunity when he was, a couple years back at the Cleveland Times, just not in the right location for him. It is what it is. It's part of coming in as a rookie, getting sent around.
He's better than Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, much better.
Absolutely.
Much better.
And I really think he's better than Tebow. You know what I mean?
Tebow had one pass.
Yeah, against my Steelers. Yes, he had one pass. It got him an ESPN job for life.
Yeah.
He is the worst football commentator in all of college football.
He's a hell of a speaker, though. He's don't forget commentating.
Not only did he get a lifetime job at ESPN, but they put a statue of him in Florida.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Chomp.
The Virgin statue.
Chomp. The team I'm honestly worried about watching, and it is in our NFC East, is the New York Giants. That team is, they franchised Saquon. You got Sterling Shepard back. Daniel Jones is on a 4-year tear, $40 million each.
That's a terrible contract. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying, good for him. It's maybe
good for him, but that's okay. I complained when Cowboys signed Dak for that kind of money. I was like, he isn't worth $40 million. Daniel Jones isn't even anywhere close to that number.
But I'm telling you right now, I'm more worried, and this is no bullshit, and this is not just being biased because I hate Cowboys. I'm telling you straight up, I'm more worried about the Giants than I am the Cowboys. And then you got Jacoby, Damon's main man, Jacoby Brissett, now a Washington Commander. He is now in the NFC East. We'll see what happens.
Hey, listen.
Sam Bradford again.
I was only a Jacoby Brissett man because I felt that he didn't get the opportunities that he deserved in Indianapolis. It was like, dude threw 3 passes, 2 of them was complete, and the other one was to an injured wide receiver, but it's his fault that you lose the game. You could have kept Coach Jacoby, but no, you went with Matt Ryan. No, you went with Phillip Rivers. Ugh, now look at you. You could have did the same shit, save money, and got draft picks. But look at you. You got nothing.
Nothing.
You got nothing.
They got the number 4 pick, and it'll probably end up with like C.J. Stroud or somebody like that.
You know, honestly, I have a feeling that's
nobody.
exactly who they're going for.
I'm just mad nobody wants to give Stetson Bennett no love, bro. Like, why are we keep not talking about the guy who just won back-to-back national championships? One of them was undefeated. All the kid does is win, but no, you want to pick Baker Mayfield. You want to pick Johnny Manziel, number 1, but you don't want to draft Stetson Bennett in the first, second, or third round.
Hey, you know, you brought up Stetson, and I was telling the baseball boys in our little friend chat that we have, the guy that I would love to see get a chance, but he won't, is Aiden O'Connell from Purdue. Because we saw a lot of him, Damon, as Big Ten guys. He's a big kid. He can throw the deep ball pretty well. This Purdue's offense was terrible, and it was a really poorly ran program last year. But he's a good quarterback. Like, he's kind of like a sneaky Brock Purdy, but not as good as Brock Purdy. He could be a steal for somebody. Maybe the Colts should just take him, like surprise everybody with the 4th pick and take Aiden O'Connell and be like, hey, screw you guys.
Right, that's why you have the combine and you have these little workouts and the XFL, baby. Go do your thing. Ooh, plug, shameless.
The USFL.
Yeah, see, hold on here. Here's my question, Matt. We were talking about it a little bit ago. The XFL. Have you seen any of it?
Yes.
What do you think of it?
I like the kickoff. I like the onside kick thing. I think the onside kick thing is kind of cool. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Eagles actually implemented for the onside kick rule to go into effect for the NFL. They proposed something to the NFL to get backing from it. And
since they're going after our quarterback sneak, we might as well do some type of counter offer.
And I kind of like the extra point thing. It's different. You know what I mean? Like,
it's definitely different.
It's different. I like it. I don't know if I'd like it in the NFL though, but I like it in the XFL. But it's been good football. I thought like it's entertaining to watch. I don't know why the ratings are so bad though.
But their fans are absolutely awesome. Like if we had
it's like watching a soccer match, dude.
It's like watching a soccer. It is great. Like, dude, I was watching what was it? The Vegas game Sunday night, dude. The cup chain in the stands it's like went from the floor, from the field all the way to the top of the stadium. They packed 30,000 people in there for that game. That was great.
And then USFL will be lucky to get 5,000 fans total for the year.
Total. In all of the stadiums.
That's bad.
But no, I think it's great, man. The fans are latching on. I think it's good football, man, because it doesn't seem like it's fake. It doesn't say, and then they give you all access. Like you're listening to the play calls, you're listening to the coaches talk to the players, you're listening to the replay guys who are talking to the guys calling the game. You know what I mean? Like you're looking at and seeing all this stuff. So it's really cool. It's a really cool concepts.
Looking at, like, you go through and look at the rosters, look at how many former NFL guys are there, or guys that go from the XFL to the NFL. And I know of one, Keontae Turpin for the Cowboys, their kick returner, was in the XFL last year. Could you almost consider the XFL like
feeder league?
The feeder league to the NFL? Because I mean, look at
I thought that was what they were trying to do.
I don't know. Like Ben DiNucci was okay when he filled in for Dak last year in Dallas, but like he's doing a really good job in the XFL right now. He's one of their top quarterbacks, and it's surprising to me.
I mean, I think it's good. Every other sport has a farm league now. You know what I mean? Hockey's got theirs. Baseball has got theirs. The NBA over the last 5 to 10 years has adapted theirs. Is working pretty well. Football, why not? I mean, you got 1,000 semi-pro. You got 1,000 high level just below the NFL. Why not? Why not give it a shot as to, you know, and that actually can help bridge that gap from that 2-year or 3-year removed type deal. Like everybody isn't been like for basketball, everybody isn't college material. You can go there, get your body together, learn the game, and get your shot without wasting, taxpayers' money.
I guess it also doesn't hurt that you have The Rock as your commissioner.
Doesn't hurt one bit.
A guy who didn't make it because of the less opportunities. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
good point.
Wow.
All right. Now we have the two-headed monster in the room that we've been waiting on. Everybody's been waiting on. The world has been waiting on. The Steelers have been waiting on the news of the AFC North, Lamar Jackson. What
Not
is
really.
going?
I
know it sounded good. I didn't say you were taking him. I'm just saying that's a division rival. We're wanting to see where he goes. So, Damon, I'm going to start with you being in the AFC North. Does Lamar? Well, I'm not going to say does Lamar Jackson stay. Where does Lamar Jackson take Week 1 snaps at? What?
The crib.
He's gonna be done.
The crib.
Huh? He's done, or is he taking?
I think
that
he takes it at the crib. You know what I mean? Like if you right now, he's playing the long game. You know what I mean? He's representing all. I think this is becoming bigger than football. If anybody's really paying attention to it, Lamar Jackson is his own agent.
Mm-hmm.
He's fighting against a system of a buddy system, so to speak. These agents and these owners or these gyms work together, for the benefit of the player, but it's really not. You know what I mean? It's the benefit of that agent and the benefit of that ownership, and the players gets a little compensations with all of these extras that you have to do in your contract. Lamar Jackson is taking out a middleman, and that's bucking the system, kind of like LeBron James's agent now, who is like taking over the agent market because he wasn't one of those buddy guys. He didn't come in on the buddy system. You know what I mean? And I think this could be bigger than football with Lamar being his own agent. Like, no, I'm not going to ban. Well, you're not going to do this if I had an agent. So why are you going to do it to me like I ain't got one? You know what I mean? So I think he plays the long game. Granted, I would like for him to play the franchise, play the Kirk Cousins games, because your money value is going to be way higher than what Kirk Cousins was if you did that. But why put yourself the way you play football? Why put yourself in that must see or wait and see type thing? I sit my ass down, force the Ravens' hand.
He said the Raiders. I'm like, well, that could have been an option until Jimmy G. But no, I agree with you. I agree with you. I see both sides of it. I know we were all talking earlier. I see both sides of having the agent and not having the agent. But I'm with you on this, Damon. If I'm able to do what I need to do for myself without paying this compensation to this guy who doesn't necessarily have my best interest in mind, I'll sit. But man, that's gonna suck.
No different than defending yourself in court if you're mentally capable of doing it.
True. I'm just saying, is it gonna suck to not see him on the field? Because when he is not hurt, that dude is amazing. Matt, what do you think Lamar Jackson's gonna do?
I think he's gonna hold out till as it gets closer to time to they start getting ready for the regular. I think he plays in the regular season, and I think it's going to be with the Ravens because there's going to be a lot to give up to get him. You're talking 2 first-round picks that somebody would try and go after him now, and I'm just going to use the Colts as an example. The Ravens are going to want that number 4 pick. You know what? You just took Lamar Jackson from us. You're sitting at number 4 this year. We want that pick and the one you have for next year, because at number 4 we can get our next quarterback to replace him. Because we don't know what's going to happen to Tyler Huntley, because he signed a non-tenured franchise tag today too. So if somebody would offer him a sheet, they don't get compensated for it. He just goes. So I think he plays for them in week 1. The problem that I have with this whole thing though is, and this is where like the Daniel Jones contract comes into play. Lamar Jackson has proven he is a very capable quarterback. He's won the MVP. He's led the league twice in passing. Daniel Jones got paid $40 million, and what has he won?
Nothing.
Bingo. The problem is nobody wants to pay that kind of money now because of the salary cap and all that stuff. And that's a lot of guaranteed money to give a guy, especially with his ability with him running. And the only thing that's going to do is, and this is nothing against you, Dan, being an Eagles fan, that's going to make the market value for Jalen Hurts go up, and it's going to be the same thing with Jalen Hurts. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Because the money that's going to be there is it's going to be tough. Now, him representing himself, I see both sides of the fence. I get it. He's got to think about himself. But he has a little bit more leverage having somebody do it for him who is, what is it, like Drew Rosenhaus. I mean, Drew Rosenhaus is probably one of the best agents in sports. He can get players
what
paid.
About Jerry Maguire?
I'm just those guys in general, they can get their clients paid. Like, they have that leverage. They know what they're doing to get their clients paid. I think that's what's going to hold him back is he can get a lot of guaranteed money. Is it going to be the $200 million that he wants? Probably not. But he can still be the highest paid quarterback. I just don't think he has the leverage by representing himself.
But that's the point. Why does he need to have the leverage? Because he has somebody else doing the talking for him. That's why I think this is more than just him having the contract or guaranteed money. I think he's actually fighting the system. Why should I have to have somebody to get these things that I want in my contract? Am I not capable? Okay, let's just back this up. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it right here. What if this was Tom Brady or Peyton Manning or Aaron Rodgers or
So
let's say,
why don't you just name every white quarterback in the league? Because for one, Lamar Jackson is no Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, but I'm not putting Aaron Rodgers.
It's not that. He's proven himself what he can do on the field. Yeah. He's an MVP. He's in that category, period. He's won an MVP, the youngest to do it. Am I not correct? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He's in that category. You were in that room. So what if one of those guys didn't have an agent? Are they going to get that same he needs to have an agent leverage rhetoric?
One would hope so, yes. But I'm not saying that it would happen.
But just point blank, Daniel Jones gets a $40 million contract.
Fucking ridiculous.
An MVP.
The issue, I don't disagree with you. The problem when you mentioned like I'll throw Rodgers in there. Rodgers, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady. They all at least took pay cuts of it sounds so silly because we're all sitting here talking about them getting paid $25 million a year.
40.
Well, but I'm saying they were getting paid $25 million a year because of their endorsements with State Farm with Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning with the Allstate commercials and all that. They didn't have to worry about that guaranteed money. I think the only reason why Lamar wants all this guaranteed money is because I don't think he has the same endorsements as Brady and Rodgers and them had, but it's not his. But it's not his fault. But that's not his fault, though. I think get him a chance to play for a Super Bowl, and I think you see more of that come in, and he's not having to worry about saying, you know what, I need that. I need this money guaranteed, and I think that's where it is. I think there's a huge difference of having a guy that just won 7 Super Bowls by him, as an individual, and having all this money behind him, and his ex-wife made more money than what he did on an annual contract, and he made it all in his endorsements, to a guy who has 1 MVP and 2 passing titles.
But that's still not dealing with the fact that if they were representing themselves, you know what I'm saying? Would they get all of that same treatment, or would they get the Lamar Jackson treatment?
Don't know. I can't answer that.
Yes, we know.
I can't. No, I can't. I don't know, but
none of us in this room can 100% say yes or no.
No,
we can all speculate.
I can 100% speculate.
100% speculate one way or the other, but none of us here can say if or if not. Now, that's the truth, but I fully understand the concept, especially with what's happened over the past, let's say, 5-6 years dealing with the NFL and the NFL Players Association and players that do show they are fully competent of playing the game to the highest level and still aren't treated the same as others before them. Now, Lamar Jackson, you got okay. You say he. Hold on. Yep. You say, Damon. Man, it's going. My fingers disappearing. Yep. Yep. All right. You say he's going to be playing at home week
That
one.
way.
Matt, you say he's going to be playing for the Ravens week one.
He's playing Madden, baby.
Man, I'll tell you what. If the Colts are dumb enough to give $200 million, 170 million
Guaranteed. Yeah.
for 3 years to anybody right now, other than getting rid of their fucking GM and everything, the Colts have way more issues than bringing in a quarterback, folks.
Yeah.
Way more.
Yeah. I mean, and the Colts are. I mean, they might have a alternative quarterback at some point, but I don't think it's going to be Lamar because his style of football does not fit the style, the history style of Colts football.
Now
You know what I mean?
I can see this. Picture this.
Picture.
Tua gets hurt once again. Lamar Jackson is still holding out come week 3. Tua gets hurt and he goes down. Do the Dolphins, because that team is built similar to Baltimore in the offensive scheme, can you see him going to Miami? I can. If the franchise tag wasn't given to Lamar and Tua didn't take the option, I guarantee we'd be talking about the blockbuster move of Miami getting Lamar Jackson. I'm telling you, Tua was not the piece. He's going to hold out, and that's a possibility.
Listen, the option is even though Miami offered and said they pick up Tua's 5th year, that window of still being able to get another quarterback is still there for Miami. On the surface, it appears that Miami is choosing Tua Tagovailoa, booyah, or choosing him to be their quarterback of the future, but they still have that backdoor window that nobody is really talking about. So yeah, they do have the option now. Will they give up those picks? You know what I mean? I think Lamar can force that if he does not play.
Very, very true.
You can put that out there. You can put some Aaron Rodgers and be like, yeah, trade me to the Dolphins. Biatch.
Could I see him playing in a Dolphins uniform? I could. Do I think realistically it would happen? Probably not.
Fuck no.
because the Dolphins have done a really good job of working on their future. Like, they're not going to be willing to give up all those draft picks or anything like that to go after one guy.
But
he's still under 30.
Bingo. Lamar's still young enough to have that future of 5 years at least of peak play. Okay, peak play, number one. Number two, Miami is built way better overall than Baltimore is. Their defense is more stout. They have
and he can throw the deep
offense. Ball. Yep, they have way more offensive targets and schemes going on them. And that team could potentially head to the Super Bowl within 1 to 2 years with that one piece and everybody healthy, obviously barring injuries and all that. But
easily.
And I know, Damon, like Lamar was holding out this year. He wasn't technically, yeah, I'm hurt. I can't play, blah, blah, blah. I get that. But the thing that would worry me is, we see these guys going out there and running all over the place, and that type of money would scare me as an owner. I would be like, man, I don't want to give anybody that much. That scares the shit out of me. I want to pay you. I want to make it. I want to make it right with you. But man, that's a lot of guaranteed money. A lot of
only person that should be getting guaranteed money is champions.
Champions. I like that.
That's me. I'm sorry. Like, you got a team that's had 12 straight losing seasons, but your owner is bitching at the city for a new stadium. Get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? You're a player. You've been here 6 years, and I'm just throwing out some numbers. You're a player. You've been here for 6 years, and we have not advanced past this level. And you're crying for some guaranteed money, man. Hey, listen, y'all work for me. I know. I was talking about the wife with this the other day. I'm all for the players having unions, players speaking of themselves, players want this and that and that. I get that. You get perks to the job, but bro, listen. At the end of the day, my name is on your check. You work for me. Period. If you don't like it, you give up that money and you go somewhere else.
We'll see how bad. We'll see honestly how bad Lamar Jackson wants a Super Bowl title, because one could be given him. I'm telling you, one play could mean a Miami Dolphins Super Bowl or not. Tua goes down. Lamar gets signed. Lamar takes him to the promised land in the AFC title.
He's not going to win it in Baltimore. He's not going to win it in Baltimore. The AFC North is getting better all around, except for Baltimore.
Is it Harbaugh's time?
Hey, it could be. It could be Harbaugh's time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man.
He's been
everybody gets stale and stagnated. Everybody can't have 19 straight non-losing seasons.
I knew he had to throw that one in there. All right, now let's move to the other monster in the room, Aaron Rodgers, Nicolas Cage lookalike, going into the 4 days of exile and darkness, coming out, tripping his balls off. Aaron Rodgers.
He went to a rave.
He went to a 72-hour straight rave and got messed up. Came out seeing everything clear, man.
I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
I said it in our chat earlier. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, I want you all to remember, take us back to the wild card week show of the Dukes of Football. Damon, I believe it was that show that we were talking about Aaron Rodgers leaving Green Bay and where would he end up. And I believe this show here did say New York, New York, the city of dreams. And none of us were thinking the Giants.
We did. We did.
I mean, here, think of this concept, guys. Yes, it's almost an I dotted and a T crossed. We all know this now, okay? It's up to him fully. The Jets are showing that they're willing to work with his demands in getting him. They've already signed Lazard for him, which was supposedly not signed yet. Sorry.
Hold on. So he talked about that in his thing today, that his list of demands of players that he wanted to play with was not accurate.
Ah, okay.
So what happened? Because
that was him coming down off the mushrooms when he gave that list.
No, what that was. They met for 4 hours last Tuesday or whatever. They flew out 3.5 hours out to California, 3.5 hours back to talk to him. They sat down and asked him, who are some of the best teammates that you played with? He said, Alan Lazard. He's a great locker room fit. And these are guys that are free agents. He said, Alan Lazard. He said, Randall Cobb. And all this stuff. They said, well, what about Odell? You never played with Odell. He goes, anybody who doesn't have Odell Beckham on their list of wanting him as their wide receiver is stupid. So his list of demand of I'll only sign
it wasn't necessarily a demand of players to come get me, but they're showing still his interest in what they're doing.
That's like the U.S. government doesn't have a book of secrets.
What?
Well,
They
they
don't.
don't.
What are you talking about? Yeah. Look, Zach Wilson, right? Cougar banger. Okay, we're gonna call him Cougar Banger over in New York. Yep, Cougar Banger is going to get the next 2 to 3 years of some of the best mentoring from one of the best quarterbacks that's stepped foot out there, and then he's going to take over the Jets. That's what's going to happen, folks. And the Jets could very, very well potentially see the AFC Championship very soon. But remember, Miami's in that division still too, and the talk we just had about another superstar quarterback potentially making his way down to the key state, the Florida Keys area, South Beach. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we're witnessing the shift of the AFC East, and the Patriots are not in contention at all.
Well, what's terrible is the fact that everybody keeps exalting Aaron Rodgers as one of the four stones of quarterbackdom. Are
I
we
didn't say
all
that.
aware? Are we all aware that his career numbers are far behind one Ben Roethlisberger?
Well,
But no one is exalting him
you know
to
what's
Mount
funny?
Rushmore
Hold on, you know what's
status.
funny, Matt? He never mentioned his boy Big Ben when he was talking about the other white folk earlier.
Right.
because Big Ben went to Miami of Ohio. He doesn't have his own agent.
Good point. Good point.
And if he did, he would have taken him into the bathroom anyway. So,
Ouch!
Or gave him a ride on the motorcycle.
Ouch!
right.
All right, Damon, what do you think of what's going to happen? I mean, what are you seeing here in the future for New York, Aaron Rodgers, or somewhere else? What are you thinking?
I think it's going to be a fail. I do, because you've been able to handle Green Bay media, Green Bay in the middle of buttfuck to Egypt media, but you're going into middle of New York City, and it's not just because Aaron Rodgers comes to New York that all of a sudden the New York Jets are, number one in the AFC. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got competition. This isn't the NFC, bro. The AFC is loaded with quarterbacks. Loaded with quarterbacks. So, what I mean, we'll see. Just in his division, what I mean, it's tough. It's tough. So, I mean, it's not the AFC, it's not the NFC North where you only had Kirk Cousins.
And depending on what week that was.
Yeah.
Matt.
I mean? So, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is good, but I'm not sitting here getting ready to be like, why are we putting all this focus on Aaron Rodgers, who's a 39-year-old quarterback who can or who may or may not, have this LeBron James, Tom Brady late in life type heroics. He could turn into the Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan late in career heroics. Who the hell knows? You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to. If I was the Jets, I wouldn't put all my eggs in one Easter basket.
Well, they still got Cougar Banger.
Yeah, we know how that worked out for him.
Yep, not so good. Matt, do you think it's going to go through? Do you think the Jets are going to have their franchise quarterback for the next 2 years, 3 years? What are you thinking?
Franchise quarterback.
Let me back up. Everybody in the world sees Aaron Rodgers as a franchise quarterback. That's what I'm calling it, because the world calls it that. Making sure not everybody understands that I am not one of those Mount Rushmores with his face on it. I promise that.
I don't think necessarily that he's not a quote-unquote franchise quarterback, but is he the Jets franchise quarterback? No, he's not.
I said for the next 2 to 3 years.
Right, and I'm saying for the next 2 to 3 years, he is not the Jets franchise quarterback. I think he's going to go there. I think he's going to be a good coach for Zach Wilson, but I don't think Zach Wilson is going to get much better than what he is. I mean, I'm not saying Zach Wilson is great, and I'm not saying he's absolutely terrible, but I don't think he's going to get much better. I think he's going to be right where he is. I think the Jets have a franchise quarterback coming. I just don't think it's Aaron Rodgers for the next 2 to 3 years. I don't think it's Zach Wilson. The only thing this is going to do, though, is it's going to help the Jets and their offense get a little bit better momentum. I think the person that benefits the most out of this is going to be Garrett Wilson at wide receiver. He's probably the only guy that's going to be the most beneficial out of this because he's going to have somebody who can actually throw him the ball. But but a franchise quarterback for the next 2 to 3 years, I don't see it. I mean, he's past his prime. He had all these opportunities in Green Bay to get to the promised land more than one time. He got there won it once, more than what I can say that I've seen my team do. But it's just when it comes to the crunch time at the end, he hasn't really done. He hasn't been
really
clutch,
done
man.
shit.
He hasn't
really
been
done
clutch.
shit.
Right. He just hasn't been clutch. MVPs, all this, yeah, blah, 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 blah. He's not going to be their franchise quarterback for 2 to 3 years. This is an experiment just to see what they can do. They might win 2 or 3 more games than what they normally do, but I can't see it being more than that.
We're going to go through this same thing at the end of next season, except that he's not going to be in Green Bay green. He's going to be in Jets green. We're having this same conversation. Does Aaron Rodgers retire? Does Aaron Rodgers come back to New York Jets? What are the Jets going to do? We're going to wait. Aaron Rodgers has to go off to Hawaii to have a peyote session. What are we going to do? We're going to wait. He's drinking
I just want to say, can we join him next time?
So they asked him on the Pat McAfee show if the Jets asked about his Wayaka sessions or whatever, and they said, yeah, that was never brought up.
Hey, it's off season, man. I ain't gonna go test them.
They wasn't even talked about for the regular season or anything like that. But he went into like a big detail today about what made him decide to leave Green Bay, and he actually had nothing but love and respect for the fans, the organization. It's just what happened before
he went. It's time.
What happened before he went into his darkness and what happened after he came out of his darkness kind of was
enlightening. That's what happens when you take acid and mushrooms, folks. You are very much enlightened, especially if you're
at the same damn time.
Right, for 4 days.
So he admitted,
delusional as shit.
He admitted before he went into that, though, he was 90% ready to retire. So
90.
Take that for what it's worth.
Never mind, I ain't going.
I'm taking nothing for what it's worth when it comes to Aaron Rodgers.
Before he went into darkness, he said, I was 90% ready to retire. The other 10% felt like I could still play football. I've worked out.
And there was no percentage of me being in Green Bay next year is what he was probably saying.
Yeah, he knew that he wasn't going to be coming back to Green Bay. What really sold it for him is when, before he went into his darkness phase, they said, doors open. If you want to come back and play, you're our starting quarterback. While he was in there, he got on his phone. He saw a message from his agent and through other people that the Green Bay Packers were considering trading him at that point, and there was no conversations by it. He said, okay, they're done with me. I'm done with you. No matter what I decide, I will not be coming back to Green Bay.
He is such a baby. Oh, my God.
I'm coming into the light.
He obviously followed the pattern of Brett Favre. 100%. You obviously, oh my God, they talked to somebody else about a position. I mean, do you think he was going to be the quarterback forever?
Right. I mean,
everybody's got a life expectancy.
Give me the night.
Oh my God, I'm not going to share him. I'm not going to teach him nothing.
And that right there, folks, is the reason why the Daniel Jones 4-year, $160 million contract was dumb as shit. To put it even out there even more. Just saying, Giants, that was dumb as shit, but I'm still worried about you.
At least they didn't put a clause in. You have to watch 12 hours of film.
True. All right, Matt, before we get off here, Matt has been discussing and throwing up some ideas of the wonderful puck the puck game that people call ice hockey, that people call the NHL. Somebody's getting ready to maybe do something, Matt. I don't know. Why don't you tell everybody what we're thinking here?
So, since I'm probably one of the only big hockey fans that we have, and we're getting close to playoffs, I'm going to start getting some content out there for the playoff push. Then there's going to be stuff on the off season, and probably, hopefully, as long as my work schedule starts cooperating a little bit better, we will have a full-time hockey show.
It's the only way I am going to know anything about what's going on in hockey. I'm not gonna lie. I don't. It's not like I dislike the sport. It's just I played ice hockey on the street when it was froze over.
Gar
rollerblades. Yep.
Game on.
Gar. Exactly.
Hey, listen. I was watching Sports Center, and I will have to comment: the Edmonton Oilers Nick style sweaters are freaking awesome. That orange and blue is freaking awesome. I love it. I'm gonna have to get me an Edmonton Oilers sweater.
Well, if we have any Edmonton Oilers fans out there, they're going to be very surprised when I start going into my predictions for the playoffs. So.
But don't they got two guys with 100 points at the
Yes.
same time in the same season?
They also have to compete against a Boston Bruins team that is the fastest team to 100 points and 60 wins in a year. So
damn. So where's the Blackhawks at? Probably nowhere in it.
Somewhere else.
About the same place as where my Flyers are right now. So bottom of the cellar.
I will say I like those Philadelphia Flyers Philly jerseys when the
sweaters.
They're sweaters.
Well, my bad.
Get your hockey lingo right before you.
See, this is why we need you guys. We need some
open wheel racing, sweaters. He's on a roll.
The only black guy that I know in the entire fucking world that knows what open wheel racing is and what they call hockey jerseys.
Sweater! Hockey sweaters!
I know. That's what they call them. They're sweaters.
Oh,
God damn. Oh, shit. Fellas, it's been fun. It's been real fun. Well, next time we're going to be talking about the draft, I think. Huh? That's April 6th.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
So, folks, check us out. The Dukes of Football will be back, ready for the draft. I can't wait because, I'm hoping to sign my DB to the team still, and then grab a wonderful rookie to take over the NFC East yet again.
Wait, so hey, we didn't talk about it, but y'all sure lost a lot of people. But
man,
it was an exodus. Hence, is there a problem with free agency? Yes or no? But that's the end of that. Hey, don't forget, everybody out there, don't forget to get your brackets in. You have less than
12 hours.
16 hours?
15 hours. Yeah, we're 15 hours
less than
away.
15 hours to get your brackets filled out.
Right.
On the post on the page, both brackets are available for you to join the groups. The ESPN Tournament Challenge. There's a women's bracket and a men's bracket. Should be absolute fun. I got some off the wall picks for the men's. The women's is pretty basic, but
the women's is pretty basic because there's only about 6 teams that are anywhere close to it.
Yeah, one.
Yeah, well, I tried to be nice.
Hey, I got quick breaking news here for you.
Uh-oh.
The Vikings have re-signed Alexander Mattison to a 2-year deal, and the Giants have reached out to both free agent wide receivers DJ Chark and Mecole Hardman to replace Kenny Golladay. So.
Galladay's a pretty big weapon for them in that offense. I wonder.
They cut him, and now they're looking at DJ Chark or Mecole Hardman to replace him. So that's some quick breaking news here for you.
There we go. The source coming in. The one coming in. The lion coming in. And Matt, here's what happens when you're on the Dukes of football. I'm going to put you through. Oh, fuck it, really quick, rapid knockout. 2 questions. 2 questions for you, Matt. You ready?
Sure.
Favorite food?
Tacos.
What type?
Steak.
Hard
Carne
or soft?
asada. Both.
He watched how he answered that one. All right, second question, and then we're out. Favorite music?
It was like 5 questions.
Nope. We're just rapid knockout tonight. It's just 2.
Favorite music?
Yep.
Metal music. Rock music, metal music.
Favorite band?
That category. From Ashes to New.
All right, that's your boy, right?
He said 2 questions, and he just
Turned
asked
into
you
6.
8 questions.
That was rapid. That was the rapid part. All right. Check everybody out across the network. Us here at the Dukes of Football. Checkers and Wreckers. Just a bit outside. Got super kicking it with Steven. The state of basketball. Obviously, they're getting ready to tip off greatly in the March Madness. And did I miss anybody? I didn't miss anybody. Did I miss anybody?
And hockey coming soon.
Well, we don't have a name yet, damn it. So we got to figure that out. All right.
Fuck you.
There it is.
Bingo! Damon pulls one out of his ass and it shoots and scores, folks. All right. It's been fun. It's been real. We're done. Damon, what do we do?
We keep Indy and Philly surrounding areas sporty.
Pew, pew. I don't know where she is.
She disappeared. The boy called.
Nope. Not no more. And on that note, we're hitting the button.